Hey everybody, this is Jaxnos, and we're back with another Thinking Corner, or at least I think it's a Thinking Corner. We'll find out in a bit after I, write this up and then decide to record it and make a video, make some clips and things and put it together. Anyway, yeah, but it's a video, it's a new one, but this time instead of, a trailer analysis, I can speak, we're doing a fan theory, or I should say a fan hypothesis. Or something like that. Because fan speculation. Because a theory's proven. I've learned this. I told you I know words. Anyway, today we're gonna we're gonna try and find out who the rest of the True Organization 13 might be. And so I think there's already been a few hints and little teaser moments dropped here and there to kind of flesh out the rest of the group. But for now, let's first go over who we do know, and we're gonna do this quick and dirty like a Mexican hooker. It's fine. That was okay. We're gonna erase that. We're gonna cut that out. In the True Organization 13, or the 13 Seekers of Darkness, if you don't know who they are, they're a group created by Master Xehanort to essentially recreate Kingdom Hearts, because his whole thing is he's constantly trying to create Kingdom Hearts, or the true Kingdom Hearts. And specifically, I think in this, using 13 Darknesses versus the 7 Lights, he's trying to reenact the Keyblade War and also recreate the Keyblade, because his first experiment with Ventus didn't go that well. Essentially, he has 13 different versions of himself and people who he's subdued to take up this role. The reason Organization 13 was created in the first place was actually to find 13 suitable vessels for Master Xehanort to take over, and it didn't work out that well. So this is his true one. So far we know that in the True Organization 13, there's Master Xehanort, young Xehanort, the one who actually traveled through time with the assistance of Ansem and/or Xehanort's Heartless. We have Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, Terra Xehanort's Heartless. We have Xemnas, who is Terra Xehanort's Nobody and the leader of the original Organization 13. Xigbar, who is Braig's Nobody and a member of the original Org 13, and Saix, Issa's Nobody and a member of the first Organization 13. So it's really easy to see why everybody's connected there, and the most telling thing that has been pointed out by now is that they all share the same eye color, and that eye color is actually telling of Xehanort's influence over that person. So given that over a few trailers and throughout the games up to 3D, we've been seeing various little hints, I think, of what could potentially be someone who will join the True Organization 13. So here's my little list of potential members from most to least likely, and let me know what you think as I go through this, or you can't tell me while I'm going through this, but tell me at the end of the video. Anyway, first one obviously is Terra Xehanort, or Terra. I'm leaning more towards the combination of Terra and Master Xehanort before the split in two, because that's the whole point of young Xehanort, that he went through time and collected everybody up. So I could see him collecting Terra Xehanort, since that's a stronger form of Terra who is already under the influence of Xehanort, very strongly so. The only reason that I even give it a possibility that it might be Terra solely is because Master Xehanort has now been fully reformed, and so there's a good chance that Terra is just randomly floating about somewhere. That's actually a big question that also came out 3D. Just where are people at right now? Because we know Aqua's stuck in the realm of darkness, and we're gonna get her out soon. And we know Ven is locked away in Castle Oblivion. But Terra, now that Ansem, Seeker of Darkness has been killed, and Xemnas has been killed, and Master Xehanort has been reincarnated, there should be a Terra. There should be a reincarnated Terra. Unless I'm just forgetting something here. And it's very, very possible, in fact probable, that I am forgetting something. So let me know. But that's why I think there. So most likely Terra Xehanort, possibly Terra. Next up is both Issa and Braig, for the same reason actually that I mentioned Terra Xehanort, just that young Xehanort's going through time, and he went and picked up Xigbar and Saix, so can't see why he wouldn't pick up Issa and Brig, because I think while Issa may not have been under Master Xehanort's influence until he turned into a nobody, Brig definitely was by the end of Birth by Sleep. So if maybe not Issa, but Brig most definitely would actually fall into, oh, well, he was already under Master Xehanort's influence and a possible vessel. So I don't see why young Xehanort wouldn't have just gone back and got the original Brig along with Xigbar for some weird, freaky time travel stuff. Unless Kingdom Hearts is trying to say that some people can do the whole yourself from different timelines can interact with each other. Because Xehanort seems to be perfectly fine with it, but maybe time will break if Xigbar runs into his former self, his true embodiment. Next is, I think Vanitas will make a comeback. This one's a bit more tricky because this definitely 100% relies on the fact that young Xehanort's using time travel. The other ones, if he goes back in time and picks them up, it won't really mess around with the timeline so much that things will change completely. The only reason I say that Vanitas could potentially actually has less of a chance of happening than Terra Xehanort or Issa and Brig is because he dies before young Xehanort would start his trip. Because Master Xehanort sends him off. No, I'm dumb. Ansem sent him off. Or the freaking Xehanort's Heartless sent him off. So young Xehanort wouldn't be sent back in time until Xehanort's Heartless is a thing. I do kind of wonder if maybe that's another reason. That might actually be a reason for Brig to not be standing side by side with Xigbar, is the fact that young Xehanort was sent off on his time traveling trip after Brig became a nobody, after Vanitas was destroyed. So that might be why those forms are the specific forms that are in the Organization 13, True Organization 13. But if not, then I can see Vanitas being easily somebody to go up in their ranks. Next up is Maleficent. This one is solely because of her connection with the darkness and how she's constantly someone who's been a troublemaker for Sora and company, has been working with Xehanort beforehand, so she's had interaction with Xehanort in multiple forms now, and just specifically because she's so close to the darkness, it's really easy to see her getting swayed over. The only thing that actually makes this, like on the fence, and I put it so low in terms of like I find this least likely than the other ones I've already named, is just that she has a strong will, and she might be all up in the darkness, but it doesn't seem to be anywhere near harming her at any point. Like, she seems to have complete control of the darkness. So it's a question of whether or not Xehanort would be able to control / subdue her will. And if not, then we'd kick her. She wouldn't be a part of the gang. But I put her there just because of that fact that she's so close to the darkness and is a main big baddie. And it'd be cool to see a Disney character in this lineup, because I kind of don't like the idea of it being solely original characters, because so far that's all it's been. It's just original characters, no Final Fantasy, no Disney, and I find that a bit suspect. So that's why I have Maleficent here. Darkness, and hey, get a Disney character in True Organization 13. After that is one that I put it here as more likely than the last person I have. But you know what? It's just so, I'll say it. Master Xehanort's nobody. So okay, follow me on this, because this is something that has continued to confuse me, and I think it's something that I guess we're just gonna pretend isn't an issue. We're just gonna pretend that this has been cleaned up somewhere in the lore, and that I'm just dumb, which is, once again, I have no confidence in myself, so I'll say it's true. But when Master Xehanort relinquished his heart to shove it into Terra, he performed the exact process required to create a nobody. Like, he released his heart from his body. He has a strong heart. He should be creating a nobody there. Like, he released his heart from his body and shoved it into Terra. That's what happened, right? That's the same thing that happened with Sora, which then led to the creation of Roxas and Naminé. Because he went and released Kairi and his heart and said, yo, be free, and all that crap. But the same thing happened. it's the same thing. Nobody should have been created in that moment, and yet apparently one does not exist for just Master Xehanort. Cause Xemnas is Terranort's nobody. Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, is Terranort's Heartless. Now that makes sense to me. That's perfectly fine, because at the point where a Heartless would be created is when Xehanort decides to shove himself into darkness. And so Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, and Xemnas, yeah, that makes perfect sense. But right here, I just 100% don't understand how there's not a nobody for Master Xehanort as himself. So, if there is one, then I'm going to say he's a part of the true organization. Cause screw it, we need to fill in these seats. And last, but definitely not least, and the reason why I say this is because in one of the earlier Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers, the one where Xehanort and Ericus are playing chess, you look at the chessboard and you see a bunch of different pieces with funky symbols and on top of them, and I think those actually correlate to who's fighting on their sides. Cause let's look at this chessboard real quick. Obviously Xehanort has the darkness pieces and Ericus has the light ones. But first off, we see a light piece on Xehanort's side, which could just, be that Ericus moved his thing up. Or it could represent Terra as a light piece who now belongs over on the dark side. We got a bunch of different symbol here. I see one that I think is supposed to be Riku's. And then we have the one over here that looks kind of like Chakram. And that's like Axel's thing over here for Ericus' side. And then on the darkness side, we got two things here that look like jester hats. And so my last pick for the true organization is Kefka from Final Fantasy VI. And just like Maleficent, I was like, if it's only original characters and we don't have any Disney or Final Fantasy characters in this true organization, that's kind of a bummer, And then I had to think to myself, who hasn't shown up yet who's a big baddie from one of Nomura's Final Fantasies? Like one of the Final Fantasies that Nomura worked on, who is missing that a bunch of people are huge fans of and would definitely add something crazy new to the series? And then I looked at that chessboard and I saw the jester hats and I was like, Kefka, it's Kefka. Because we already have Setzer, so we know Final Fantasy VI characters can show up in Kingdom Hearts. And yeah, Setzer's cool and all, but I'm pretty sure everybody else is like, where's Kefka though? So yeah, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna say that True Organization 13, Kefka's a member. This is the least likely one of all of them, but I really hope it's true. And if it's not, then at least let Kefka be in KH3. Come on, we're waiting. Do it. Put him in. Well, anyway, thank you for joining me for this Thinking Corner. That's my fan speculation on who are the members of the True Organization 13, the 13 Seekers of Darkness. If you have any ideas of who you think it might be, please comment down below under the description. You know where the comment section is. And I'll see you guys for the next video, which will be probably, I don't know, but there's definitely gonna be one when 2.8 comes out, so you can hope for that one. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.